Hi, my name is Miss Maggie, and I am a multimillionaire. Now, I've been saying that for quite some time, and I realized that my circumstances have not been living up to that proclamation, so to speak. And the reason why my circumstances haven't been living up to that proclamation is because the choices and the decisions I've made have not been aligned with that proclamation. I'm just being honest with myself here. And it is very hypocritical of me to come on here, speak to the masses, and, tell them about the things that I learned and the things that I'm coming to know without actually living in it myself. It segues me into the idea of shifting your identity and actually being and waking up and living, making those choices that align with the person you say you want to be. The person I want to be, as far as the things that I want to achieve, is a multimillionaire. And it's not because of the money. I think there's a misconception that people who desire money or want money just want it to, have all these materialistic things. And I didn't grow up that way. I didn't grow up in a rich family, silver spoon in our mouths. I didn't grow up with a lot of materialistic things, and that is not my goal. That's not, I don't want to be a multimillionaire just so I can, who doesn't want to drive like the greatest, the most amazing cars and get like fancy clothes and go out to dinner and just like live in stability and comfort? Who doesn't want that, right? But that's not my goal. And that's not why I've decided to take the risk that I've been taking over the last couple months. That's not why I want to become a multimillionaire. I want to become a multimillionaire because it's going to build a path and a legacy for my future. There is a vision that I have for my life. And glory be to God, if I wake up every single day and I get to a point where I see myself achieving all these things, as far as like externally, like having kids, having a family, setting up a successful business. If I get to that point, thank God. But the goals that I have now is not to set me up to be materialistic and say, I only want to achieve this because I want everything. I actually don't want anything at all besides stability and comfort and generational wealth so that my family can be good. My friends, my really, really close friends can be good, so that my partner can be good, so that I can also help other people realize and achieve their dreams. So, with that said, I want to be a multimillionaire. I want to be successful. I want to be an amazing musician. I want to be an amazing model. I want to be a prolific public speaker. I want to be an amazing mom. I want to be an amazing daughter. I want to be an amazing friend. I want to be helpful to my community and helpful to people that I care about, whether or not I know them, because I can still care about them. And so becoming becoming the person that I say I want to be, that I feel like, or I know, that is what my heart knows, it's going to allow me to achieve these things. Making those choices, that conscious choice to wake up every single day and say that I am a multimillionaire. How does a multimillionaire work? How does she move? Where does she go? What choices does she make? And I've been self-reflecting the last couple of days and realized that I have not been making those choices consciously. Um, and I've been reading this book that I really, really hope to start creating a series about, called Reality Transurfing, bringing my attention a little bit more to, one, my desires, my choices, and the type of faith that I display. I think I've been walking in blind faith and walking with false belief, thinking that I can just sit back, not do as much of the work as I need to do, and God will provide. And I realized that's not necessarily how God works. That's not how the universe works. Um, I've made a mistake on my part for sure. And I'm here learning and I'm growing. And these teachings, these findings that I have, I'm very passionate about teaching other people and helping other people. And since self reflecting, I've come to learn like this is my path, this is my mission, regardless of what I do, regardless if I'm singing on stage, regardless if I'm talking to people, regardless if I'm actually working on a business that, a lot of people need. Like it's very, you know, um, it's very useful to people these days. It doesn't matter what I do. I still want to help people by helping them realize their dreams and their goals. And in order for me to do that, I do have to be a testimony. I do have to walk in the shoes. I do have to talk the talk, walk the walk. Going back to reality transurfing, the author has been very persistent in mentioning that we do not necessarily get our dreams, like our dreams don't come true. We do not necessarily achieve what we want, but we achieve who we are. We get who we are. And this is why it's so very, very important to wake up every day with an intention and walking in that intention, not walking in blind faith. You can't ask God, hey, I need $3,000 this week, and then just go sit on your couch and watch TV expecting God to just offer that $3,000. Now, that's very possible in the realm of spirituality because people can do spells and all that crazy shit. But don't get me wrong, there is a system to how the universe works, there is a system to how God works. And that is what these transcripts and scripture have been verbalizing over the last millions of years. It's all the same song, all the same tune, just different authors, different writers, different songwriters, you know, composers. It's just different people saying the same thing. So essentially, walking in blind faith is not how the universe works. You create an intention, you make a choice to bring that intention alive. You pay attention to what you're doing, the choices that you're making, and in essence, that's who you become. If I decide that I want to stop smoking, I'm not going to say I want to stop smoking because 75% of the time, I'm still going to smoke. If I want to stop drinking, I'm not going to say I want to stop drinking. 75% of the time, I'm going to keep drinking and going out. If I want to stop doing these unhealthy habits, and I just keep saying, oh my God, I want to stop doing this. I want to stop doing this. My mind isn't resonating with want. It's not resonating with a desire. It's not resonating with wanting something. It is resonating with a state of being. I have to rewire my brain and become a person that doesn't do that. To make a choice, ironically, is to say, I don't want to do something. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be a smoker. I don't want to be a drinker, but you don't necessarily say it, you be it. What does a person who doesn't drink do? They simply stay away from circumstances and places that put them in a position to drink, as well as a smoker, as well as someone who is indulging in bad habits for them. Not saying that these are bad habits. Everyone has their threshold and everyone has a limit to what they can do. But when it becomes something that is debilitating and crippling and even paralyzing, to say the least, then that's when you know it's something that you might not want, but you keep telling yourself that I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. But you're not allowing yourself to just be that person who doesn't do that. Just simply be. So in my case, if I can explain it a little bit better, I want to be a multimillionaire. Simple as that. This is a desire I have. Doesn't matter why, and simply doesn't matter how. It just matters that I make the conscious choice to wake up every single day and do what a multimillionaire does. A multimillionaire is very, very strict with their energy. They're very persistent. They don't let a day go by where they're missing opportunities and they're just laying on the couch and watching TV and not putting in the work. And it doesn't matter how long it's going to take for me to get there, because time, as a person who is in that energy and remains in that state of mind, time doesn't exist, because I am tuning myself to another version of myself that simply exists, that is already a multimillionaire. The best way that I can break this down is that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. And I just love having that, like, that aha moment when I hear that, because it tells you that everything that you already desire, everything that you want out of life, you're just waiting for that moment to come to you. It already exists, because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It simply is. It simply exists here and now. But you need to align with your frequency. You need to align your energy, your state of being, to another alternative space that exists. And that's why the term quantum leaping, that's why that exists, because it is possible. You can literally jump to an alternative reality where the magic that you want so bad, the things that you desire so much, exists, because it does. Now ask yourself, why do you want to be rich? Why do you want to be famous? Why do you want to be, in a stable and comfortable environment? Why do you want to have a good partner? Why do you want to have, you know, just your dreams fulfilled? It is not something that came up to you by accident. The vision that you have is not something that just strung up on you by accident. In a different alternative reality, it exists. And now you just need to merge those realities by being the person that whatever is in that reality that you want, that person is being. So it's very important to not just think about these things, but also write it down, transcribing it, also put it onto words, also put it into a living document. It's just very, very important that, as a big believer and a dreamer, you don't get so sucked up in those dreams, because that's what they'll just be. They'll just be imagination, they'll just be thoughts, just be a feeling. But in order to materialize these feelings and these dreams and these hopes, you need to align and tune your frequency with the frequency of what you want. And that is by making a conscious choice to wake up every day and being that person. So, as for me, I want to be a multimillionaire, but it's no longer a desire, because I am a multimillionaire. I just simply am. And tomorrow morning, the day after, if they choose to come by, I'm going to wake up as that, live as freely as possible, but also working on my business, also working on myself. And let me tell you, being an entrepreneur is not easy. It is not easy. And I think that's the beauty of it, because I didn't realize how hard, taking risks could be. Like actually risking everything and just being like I lost everything. I don't know what the next step is. I literally have no idea what is going to happen in my life. There's no source of stability and predictability. And as an entrepreneur, you just never know, because high risk, high reward, and you know that there is something out there for you. Being an entrepreneur is not easy. Being someone who is overly ambitious but also scared of her ambition, I think that's like water and oil. It doesn't mesh well. It really doesn't. I realized that in order for my dreams to materialize, I really need to step up and be who I say that I am. So yeah, I hope you made it this far into the video. Um, and I will see you in the next one.